My name is David Snook, and I work for Technical Services Engineering Machine Shop.
So what does a normal day in your shop look like?
A normal day in the shop would involve quoting out parts. We do a lot of machine parts here, mostly made from metal. We can't make parts out of plastic or wood or whatever the requirements are. We do a lot of prototyping. Pretty much a day would involve doing up work orders, ordering materials, and keeping my guys on jobs, manufacturing parts.
Can you tell us what we have on your screen there?
On my screen right now, we are working on a diamond rotational cutter for the large drill simulator for Dr. Stephen Butt. On the bottom here we have the cutter, and up here this attaches to the drill spindle. So the whole thing revolves. They can adjust the angle of the cutter here by adjusting this, and the cutter will adjust up and down and change the angle. And they can also adjust it in and out, which will change the angle as well.
So can you tell us about some finished projects your shop's worked on?
Some of the finished projects we've worked on include parts for the International Space Station, parts for Sentinel with Secor that involved the European Space Agency. For monitoring and tracking icebergs offshore through satellites. We work with a company called Smart Ice, who are involved in monitoring ice thickness in the north during the winter and spring season for people traveling over the ice. And many parts like that, from a lot of large parts down to small parts, a lot of research, prototyping, that kind of thing. These parts are manufactured for the Sentinel satellite project. So this is going to be a carrying block here, all this together for lifting up the bracket that goes into the satellite. So in our shop we have metal cutting bandsaws, cut metal, plastic, wood. Over here we have a precision layout table, and we have our CNC milling machine, some manual milling machines, manual lathes. We can go over here and have a closer look at the mill. So the milling machine can hold multiple tools at the same time, so we can load up to 24 tools. It's high speed tool to tool in less than a second, and everything is programmable, and you can edit out programs to whatever your requirements are. We have touch probes here for touching off our parts. Get our Z-axis, different cutting tools, carbide insert, helical end mills, collet holders, drill holders, that kind of thing. And we can go in the back. I will show you our large CNC machine. We have another metal cutting saw here, power hacksaw. And this is our CNC lathe. And then here we have our large VF6 CNC milling machine.
So this will cut anything from up to 6-inch thick steel or any material, plastics, granite, aluminum, chloroform, whatever we pretty much put on. Cutting shafts now for stainless steel plaster cutting.
Okay.
Everything pretty much cut in the water did over there now. It's a 90-ton press brake for the seals here. And we have plate roller that here now, and some welders and pipe benders and stuff like that. That's a structure we built doing for testing ship villages. We put one piece of ship village on one side, and they'll have ice or an indenter on the other side, and they bring them up. Where is that? You see the damage they're doing in the testing there. Big setup we built too. They're doing indentations and what they're doing that. Fans and ice and beams and that. Right? Another testing for Secor. And they got some soil tests. It's the big tank over here. You see a big soil tank. Putting pipes in it and building it. Fill boxes we're building for nuclear medicine over there. So they're getting it set up now. Actually, they're supposed to start making isotopes today. So they've been a couple of years now working with them, and they're probably finally getting started, right? It's all lead line for the radiation for the isotopes.
So
this would be the digital prototyping and sort of design lab for technical services. Over here we use a combination of machines, 3D printer, a laser cutter, and a milling engraver, as well as certain things like a laser scanner and a couple of other machines to do a lot of reverse engineering and design work for the shop. A couple things we've done, mostly for reverse engineering work. So for example, in the engineering rapid prototyping lab up the hall, they broke a couple of their fan ducts and the parts are no longer made. So as a result, we basically reverse engineered an existing one we had and then 3D printed copies of them for them to use now. Other things that especially the scanner and the SLS machine get used for are medical simulation and prototyping pieces. So like that would be a knee replacement model. You got sinus cavity from an MRI scan there. And this is actually a really good one for reverse engineering. So that's the top out of the cane, and using the scanner and printer, we made an exact copy of the cane top. The engraver itself is used a lot for doing braille specifically on signs. So for visually impaired people, we're one of the few places in the province that can actually do signage that contains braille for them to read. So combination with the laser cutter and the engraver, we can come up with signs like you see here, which will be over in the new core science building, which have all the room number relevant information, as well as the braille here for visually impaired people to read, which is pretty cool. A couple of really neat things that most people don't realize is the 3D printer we have here uses a powder base rather than like you'd see with the plastic wire feed stuff. And that allows you to do some really intricate things. So for example, on the airplane engine that's here on the stand, this was all printed simultaneously as one big piece. And then once you clean it up and knock all the powder out, you can see all the parts actually move internally. That can't be taken apart, that's all printed as one big piece. So you can do a lot more with it than you normally can on a standard 3D printer.
Hi, my name is Mark Kiley. The shop I work for is the Technical Services Model Fabrication Shop.
So what does a normal day in your shop look like?
A normal day in the shop, we could be doing a variety of things. Mostly here we work with woods, composites, plastics. We do industrial sewing as well. There's no set job that we do here. We pretty much take on everything that's not metal fabrication. We've recently made some acrylic aquariums for one of the marine stations here for campus. 1-inch acrylic, they're all milled out and we assemble them, glue them together here. We've been doing lately a lot of COVID-19 barriers for the different departments around campus, protective barriers. We do everything, boat models, fiberglass, composites, carbon fiber work, anything like that. We make molds, make parts, work with silicones, making silicone parts, I should say. We do awards and plaques for the university as well. Every year we do the Alumni Tribute Awards, which is a big thing we do here. Okay, so here's some of the equipment we have here in the shop. Just a band saw, pretty basic equipment. Sander, we have a panel saw here behind you for cutting large sheets of material, 4x8, where one person can cut it on their own. Here we have, just a table saw, chop saw, and we got a jointer planer combination here, router table. Excuse the mess, we had never had a lot of time to clean up. Different sanders here. We have a little lathe as well with a milling head. So for making small parts. Other than that, most stuff we do here, we use a lot of hand tools all the time. Sanders, things of that nature, routers. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I work at the Tech Services Computer Repair Shop. Here at the computer shop, we do custom computers. We spec out computers for research and also office use. If something from the procurement center doesn't quite meet staff or faculty's need, we can always build them a custom computer. Right now, we're building a custom computer for one of our shop supervisors who does electronic design. So we've actually spec'd out a computer for him to help in that process. We also service Apple, iPhones, iPads, and we also are a Toshiba warranty service provider as well. If you have any computer on campus, we are able to service. Any laser printer, we also service as well.
This is science electronics in the chemistry building. Here we repair all sorts of research equipment for chemistry, physics, biology, many different departments around the university. Right here, this little project that I'm working on, I'm just updating a cable for a researcher. I'm just taking off these little alligator clips and adding banana clips. So pretty straightforward job. Just need to be a little careful with it. But just an example of some of the things that we do here. Here is a CO2 incubator. It has a problem with its heating system. So I'm in the process of replacing the relays that are in the back. As well, there's an intermittent screen problem, and so I have it on at the moment. I'm just running it for several hours, a few days, just to see if I could get it to fail.
Hello, my name's Joe Murphy. I'm a machinist for Tech Services at Memorial University. This is the machine shop in the chemistry building. We do work for maintenance and research around campus. Today, this is just the project I'm working on. These are swim tunnels. They came in, we have to basically put little bases on the inside of the covers to help disperse the water when it goes through. So I believe there might be some sort of sea creature inside, and then water gets pumped in with pressure and stuff inside. And that's basically what these are, covers, and then I have a disc that has to go on the bottom, and then that disc water will be pumped inside, and then the water will get dispersed out around evenly. And that's basically what this job here is. We'd use a milling machine to drill the holes and stuff, and lathes to turn the diameters, and milling machines to drill the holes. So these here are lathes. That's a smaller one. This one over here would be this is a bigger lathe that we use. That's for like turning circular diameters, and you can drill holes and stuff with that too. This here is a milling machine. That's, you know, drilling holes, shaping square stuff. This here is our CNC machine. It's all run by computer, G codes, and draw it all up on Mastercam, and then transfers it into different G codes, and the machine just runs off of that.
Chris Barrett, electronics technologist, design and fabrication. We do electronic design and fabrication, prototyping. We also cover the Ocean Sciences Center for equipment repair, and we do some general electronic repair in the shop as well. We have a reflow oven, so we can populate boards we do a lot of work for the Genesis Center at times. We do some controls and things for different labs over in INCO and the Advanced Drilling Lab. We just did some LED grow lights we designed and populated the boards for an outside client through Genesis Center for hydroponic grow lights, basically. We designed a board here and had it made overseas and brought back here. We populated it on the reflow oven. Well, we populated it by hand and soldered with the reflow oven. Should I shut off board master now?
My name's Alan Aston. I work with networking security out of the computer shop. Most of my responsibilities involved in maintaining, modifying, or repairing the structured cabling here on campus. I've done work in pretty much every single building on campus where there's a renovation, they're moving offices around, they need network drops in different locations, changed, moved, added, or even the fiber interconnecting buildings and data closets. So literally been everywhere in the St. John's campus.
Hello, my name is Rob Mullett, and I'm with Technical Services now nearly 7 years. I work in the Microscope AV workshop here on campus in the Science Building. It's one of their smaller shops. It's a little bit fringy in some of the work that's done here. We deal with mostly microscopes, so we deal with either some of the smaller more robust student microscopes. This is one from biology at the moment here, very basic learning tool, nothing too intense. We also do maintenance and repair of some of the larger microscopes around campus, over in Ocean Science Center, School of Medicine, some of the research microscopes with psychology. Over here, we've got a piece of audio-visual equipment. This is an old 70s reel-to-reel player that has had some speed issues. So basically, before the pandemic, I was in the process of taking this apart and doing some investigating to try to find out if there is basically any minute adjustments that need to be done in here in order to more or less track speed correctly. The problem with this particular technology is it's a very fine art form. The people who worked on this tended to work on nothing but this. Is a very electromechanical device. And we don't get a whole lot of these in there. This is probably, since I've been here, maybe the 4th or 5th one. We do get a lot of old audiovisual equipment like old school projectors, slide projectors, cassette tapes. There's a lot of instructors around here that still want some some legacy equipment supported and serviced. So VCRs, even the odd CD player, Blu-ray, DVD players per se.